Rupert Manuel, it's Ben O'Shea from the West Australian in Perth, Australia. How are you guys?
Good.
Great. How are you?
Fantastic. Now, I don't know if you are both aware, but you were around the same age when the original Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg came out. Must have been maybe around 12 years old. 12 years old.
You were 12?
I
think I was 11.
Oh, then I was like 8.
So I was in the 6 to 8 range. I was younger than him.
No, but yeah, definitely. We were like,
yeah, we saw it together.
So
we
when
went to
you
school
did
together.
see the film, really?
No.
Be honest, were you scared? Were you scared by the velociraptors?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember being scared by most of it, but fun scared. You know, not like I'm not necessarily the biggest lover of kind of spooky scares, but this kind where it's all kind of plausible. You know, if we buy the conceit, which actually has already been proven and is happening right now, of DNA extraction and re-extinction, they're calling it, or de-extinction, whatever it's called. The idea that you'd be sort of stalked around a industrial kitchen with the nails clattering on the whatever it was, and you know, the fence being broken and the realization and the goat and all that stuff is just seared on my mind as being brilliant cinema.
And there's something in which I think Garrett did, a great job too. That is, they give you fear without showing you nothing. Like, for example, the water. Just the music with Jaws, and it's fear that
your imagination is
your imagination
doing the work.
All the work, and
yeah.
just the camera placement of, And I think Garrett has a lot in this movie of that. It really reminded me of those kind of films. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this Jurassic World Rebirth does kind of echo those classic blockbusters, certainly from that era. And now, Rupert, you're fantastic in this film as the sort of the face of Big Pharma. Really? How would you describe, I guess, that industry and how it's kind of woven into the plot of this film?
Well, firstly, thank you for the compliment of having a pharmaceutical face. Or a big pharmaceutical face. That's a first for me.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
David Koepp, the screenwriter, has taken on a very interesting subject, really, which is kind of present in all our lives in this time that we're living, which is this idea of, is it ever noble to pursue profit at the same time as a cure or a relief for people who are suffering? And, there are plenty of debates on both sides, and I feel like one of the things this film does, apart from being an amazing adventure, is ask that question. And I think Krebs my character comes down quite hard on one side of the desires there.
But I think it adds complexity to the character, which I think is fantastic. And as for you, Manuel, I need you to explain how taking your kids on a yacht through dinosaur-infested waters is good parenting.
I know, it's terrible. I cannot defend it. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was Ruben thinking. Honestly,
this will toughen him up.
Yeah. We're going to learn a lesson from this. It'll take a life lesson.
What was that lesson out of curiosity?
Honestly, he's so responsible. Kincaid is correct. He's so responsible. But I don't know. Naive. I have no idea.
What do you think the lesson that you told your kids after this experience? What was the takeaway?
Go on vacation with your mom next time.
Yes. Don't let me take you on vacation. Go with your mom. I think that would be the best.
I was talking to Gareth a moment ago, and he was telling me about creating the visual style of the film and what was important to him in some of these amazing sequences. But I'm curious to know, Rupert, from your perspective, what are you seeing in some of these sequences with the dinosaurs?
Bugger all. It's we began with literally nothing, and then we kind of said, look, can we maybe have like a little cross of Scotch tape on the wall? And that was reluctantly given. And then we asked for, is there anything we could do that would just give us a sense of like scale, height that moves? So there was some sighing and grumbling, and then eventually a tennis ball appeared on a stick. And that was the kind of gold prize that we got for good behavior.
Yeah, and Gareth doing the sounds.
Oh, and Gareth did the sounds. He does good sounds.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sorry, you've already interviewed him, so it's a bit late. But if you get a follow-up, he does very good. He had a microphone,
Dinosaur.
and he would do sounds. So I'll hand him that. We did get some sounds and a tennis ball.
That sounds more off-putting than anything else, I think, when your director's impersonating a dinosaur.
Yeah, but I think he got so into it, and like in a way, it was his chance to shine, and I didn't want to rob him of that.
He told me that you had a fantastic relationship built mostly on mutual mockery.
Who, he and I?
Yeah.
Oh, it never ends. It does not end. There's just no depth of insult, which is too low for us to stoop to, it seems.
And Manuel, like I interviewed once the cast of Godzilla versus Kong, and they said one of the things that people don't tell you when you're acting in a sort of a monster movie is how much time you spend craning your neck, looking up, and you can get a sore neck from that. Did you experience anything like that?
Well, I did injure my back. It wasn't, I guess, maybe, because you get, I guess when you're very afraid, all your body gets very tense. But yeah, you have to.
And you're limping most of the movie.
And I'm limping most of the movie. But yeah, it's very physically exhausting to be screaming. Even the ADR, all the ADR you have to do is like, oh my God, I have to do all this screaming again. But again, it's just fun, and it's really bizarre, like Rupert says, to be reacting to at least a tennis ball and imagining that that's a T-Rex, But Gareth, he's a master of this. He really, I keep saying, how is this gonna work? I don't know if it's like, trust me, you just do this, and I'm gonna make it. And then I see the film like, holy shit, he was right. He's his element. So I'm really proud and grateful that Gareth was part of this.
Yeah, there's a real leap of faith required, I think, as an actor in any film, and certainly a movie like this. And Rupert, in the film, it's set a few years after the last Jurassic World movie, and it seems as though people are kind of a bit over dinosaurs. But in real life, of course, it's anything but the truth. People are obsessed with them. Why do you think we have this fascination with dinosaurs that has just lasted forever?
It's a great question. I can't speak for everyone else, but I think from my point of view, it's because we know they existed, but no one's ever seen one. So it's somewhere between, a ghost that we're not sure if it's real, that some people believe, some people don't, and, a zoo animal, which everyone's like accepts that elephants are there. And you've got this mythical, yet real, larger than life, but it was alive thing. And then Crichton comes up with this genius idea of bringing them back to life, which is pretty much possible. So it's not quite science fiction, but none of us have experienced it. That's my take on it anyway.
And now that, as you say, that it is quite possible that we can bring these creatures back, and they certainly are working on bringing extinct creatures back as we speak. What do you both think of that? Would you like to see Brachiosauruses and T-Rexes and Quetzalcoatlus roaming the earth again?
I mean, it would be spectacular. It would be amazing, but I don't think it's a good idea. Let's just we already mess too much with nature. Let's just let it be. But it would be a spectacle, yes, for sure.
It'd be a spectacle that none of us would last particularly long enough to see it. If there were T-Rexes running around.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is one of the most iconic franchises in cinema. What do you both hope that audiences take away from Jurassic World Rebirth?
I hope it inspires a new generation of fans for the entire franchise, the original, the book, and therefore maybe they haven't read Michael Crichton or they haven't, can't believe this, seen Steven Spielberg films, and it maybe sends them all back to rediscover all those incredible films that we grew up when I was much younger than Manuel. Watching. So that's one thing. And then just a love for cinema. You know, Gareth shot this on 35mm. It's being shown in theaters, in Dolby surround sound, and it's just like the way I remember being thrilled by cinema was not by scrolling it on a phone on a subway car. It was going out, special occasion, popcorn, dark, strangers, loud, huge, utterly terrifying or hilarious or whatever it was. You know, that feeling. That's why I think we got into this is on some level, and it's great to see a return for folks to enjoy cinema theaters the way that they were intended.
Yeah, and I think that this movie really, I mean, when I saw it, it really brought me back to the first Jurassic Park, and I think people who are fans already, they're gonna just flip their minds. It's really, it's a really fun, exciting movie. I'm really proud.
Yeah, fantastic, guys. We've run out of time. Rupert, Manuel, fantastic to talk to you. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.